Today I'm very honored and very happy that I've got a guest, as you can see, from Egypt. And this guest is like a player we are consulting with our agency scoreInn.
I couldn't believe that every single pitch in Berlin, Berlin, the biggest city in Germany, is closed. I can't believe it. All of this, I wasn't. It wasn't in my mind at all. Uh, the only thing that I needed is to train. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
No, not to get in the club, not to get a trial, not anything. I just want to train proper and play proper football.
Start your journey as a goalkeeper in Germany. So, goalkeeper is a very unique position,
Yeah.
maybe the most important one.
The most, yeah, not maybe, it's 100% the most important one. Yeah.
Welcome again to Football Diaspora. This time we're going to have our conversation in English. The reason is my guest. And just to introduce once again what we are doing here is we're going on a world trip on football, which means we are inviting guests from all over the world, from almost every country in the world, to understand more of the identity of football in the corresponding countries. And our idea is that like players who come to Germany for professional football purposes, they should keep their identity, which they bring from their home countries, both on the pitch and outside of the pitch. And yeah, to say it a bit more offensively, we want them not to adapt to the German football system, but bring in their skills in the football environment in Germany that also the German football merits from their individual cultural background in football. And so today I'm very honored and very happy that I've got a guest, as you can see, from Egypt. And this guest is like a player we are consulting with our agency scoreInn. And I guess he's the best example so far. He's a very young guy, but the best example on how we imagine a successful and purposeful journey to Germany to start the football career, but also backing up every plan with that football plan with the plan B. And that's why my guest today is Adam Moustafa from Egypt. A
Hello,
warm
Paul.
welcome, Adam.
Hello,
So
Paul. Thank you so much for having me.
you gotta wait because
This is
this is my
this is
proper.
okay. This is the intro. Oh, that's
Yeah,
that
no,
tops the
you can
top.
continue,
Yeah,
but I
that's a
just
cherry on
wanted
top.
to the cherry top, right?
That's great. Yeah.
So once again, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to give
Thank you
space
so
to
much for having me, Paul. I'm very honored and happy as well. And yeah, looking forward for an amazing conversation.
Yeah, I guess we are kind of experienced in nice conversations we had
Yeah,
in
yeah,
our
we had
common
a lot.
journey.
Yeah, we had a lot.
So we want to keep that here like very spontaneously and see that we can cover up like both your history in Egypt, the situation when you came first time
Yeah,
to Germany,
yeah,
which is, I guess, a very interesting part
yeah,
of
yeah.
your journey, and then your actual situation and your dreams, and
Okay.
yeah, what we could say your life plan, I guess, because you're a very organized young boy. And before we start with, or maybe you can start with a short introduction of your age and
Okay.
like your position, what you do in football. Just do it freely and explain us who you are.
Okay. I'm Adam. I'm Adam Mustafa. I'm from Egypt. I'm 18 years old. Just turned 18 4 months ago from last Jan. Um I started football I think when I was 8 at the Arsenal franchise in Egypt, Arsenal Academy in Egypt. Yeah, that was this is for me. This is the I wanted so much to get into this academy, and then some just goals after goals after goals. I want to achieve it, and yeah, I'm now in Germany playing football.
And your position, I guess,
I'm
was
a goalkeeper.
yeah, and that was your dedication to be a goalkeeper was obvious since
First,
you've been 8,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that introduction.
Thank you.
First of all, I wanna um, tell you a bit the background of how I was introduced into, or let's say when I was in your age in the 90s, there was like it was just the beginning of that international football business, especially in Germany and Bundesliga. I guess we came a bit later than Premier League, maybe, or Serie A,
Yeah,
where you had like foreign players on an earlier stage than in Bundesliga. So let's say from the early 90s to the mid 90s, we opened up the market, anyways, like rules and regulations wise.
mm,
It was becoming more open through European legislation that we had the freedom of movement, and so a lot of players from other countries entered the Bundesliga. But before, I would say like 90% of the squads of the players on the pitch have been German players
yeah,
in Bundesliga. So then we had a period of time where we had like mainly Brazilians because
mm,
Brazil was the number one
of course,
scouting
of course,
country,
yeah,
and that was the young ages of Brazilian players in Bundesliga. So what they had to struggle with, or was always like covered by media, how will they adapt to not German football? That was not the case, but to German weather conditions.
yeah,
So we had those players where we always said, once the sun is shining and the weather is good, they will perform. But we also had those players where there was always a skeptical view on how will they perform once we've got like less than 5 degrees and
yeah,
rainy or even snowy conditions,
yeah.
wearing gloves. And that was like a
I
few
I know it.
players.
I know
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I
So
know
this
it.
is kind of my anchor for your journey here because you want to describe how that was for you to arrive in Germany, especially Berlin, like first time in your life early this year. How was that? Explain us just
I
everything.
always know that winter in Germany is okay. In Germany and United Kingdom and this and Europe, it's hot and it's very cold. But I couldn't believe that every single pitch in Berlin, Berlin, the biggest city in Germany, is closed. I can't believe it. So I spent almost a month, me and my father, just touring around Berlin and didn't train. And yeah, every pitch we see, it's closed. It's snow, it's ice, it's white all over the place.
So how
It was
was
a
the,
harsh.
like not just the pitches, but how was your experience? Because maybe it was end of January
Yeah,
2026, and we had like a very extraordinary winter in
yeah,
Germany, but especially in Eastern Germany, Berlin. It was never reaching more than -2, -1 degree, and at the night we had like down to -15
mm,
sometimes.
yeah,
And yeah, so there was ice
yeah,
and snow
yeah,
on the streets
yeah.
and on the pitches. That's why every like non-professional team and also the academies here and the professional teams they didn't train because the conditions didn't allow it. But apart from the football, how was your general impression? Just let's talk about that honestly of winter, Berlin, maybe also the sky. Like, how did you experience
It was
that?
harsh. It was harsh. It was very harsh. And my father and I would walk down the street, and after our walk, his beard is all iced,
Ah,
and his
yeah, I
his
recall.
eyebrows are all snow. So yeah, but if you think, yeah, if my beards,
Yeah,
if my father's beards are snowed and
yeah, yeah.
iced, of course I can't play in the pitches. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy that we turned. Yeah, we found a solution. That
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, we
it
will
was
come
crazy.
to that
Yeah,
soon. Yeah, maybe like the idea we had with you, like we do with young players with a certain profile. You have been playing for the Egyptian national U17s team,
yeah,
And that's like somehow our first contact was that we talked online. You've been still in Egypt. We knew about your profile, that you're a very talented goalkeeper, and we organized everything for you to come here. Still covering Plan B, that you get um, access to
Yeah.
university, which you will explain to us later. And plus that we organize, because we didn't know you, we haven't ever seen you playing in live. So we organized a team for you in
Yeah.
Berlin, which is very close to an academy here,
Yeah.
to have a tryout, to
Yeah.
see your first time. And then, in case you
Yeah.
will perform, we would also even bring you to the academy here in Berlin. And that was meant, I guess, for 1 month's experience here,
Mm.
exactly. And then you plan to travel back to Egypt and come back
Yeah, that's right.
for your studies.
That's
And
right.
you wanted to, yeah, have security on your plans and have a club once you come back here that you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
continue your football immediately.
Yeah.
So the disappointment was that you came here, it was all
Yeah.
planned for Berlin,
Yeah.
and in Berlin there was no football possible
Yeah.
due to the weather conditions. So what we reached then, I always wanted to ask you, and then we made it happen for you to play with the men's team indoor. I
Yeah.
guess you had two sessions, even the men's teams in fourth. There was a fourth division
Mm.
team, which is semi-professional
Yeah.
football in Berlin, or in Germany,
Mm.
and they changed their plans and they booked an indoor football
Yeah.
facility, and
It was
that.
cold as well. The indoor was cold as well. It was it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I guess, like -5 degrees, and they don't have no heating system.
Yeah.
That the idea to heat up that indoor
Mm.
facility is by the body temperature of the players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that was, I have seen you becoming increasingly frustrated here
Mm.
through everything, and that was kind of a relief for you, I guess. That was
Yeah.
the first time I have seen
Yeah.
how bright
Yeah,
you
of
can
course.
smile
Of course. Yeah.
after that session. So you've been, yeah, that was lucky that you have been able to train with them for 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And then I just recalled there was one of those or those players, seems like kind of a leader in that team. He was pretty disappointed on that 4-4
Ah,
playing,
yeah,
and after
I remember, yeah,
the whistle off, he was just shouting
shouting
around
and
in
yeah,
German.
yeah,
So how does that feel for somebody on a football pitch if you don't understand the word? You
uh,
don't know
yeah,
the players. They are all like experienced
yeah,
men,
yeah,
the fourth division players, and you've been in that squad. And then after the match, which is only a training match, it's
yeah,
only like indoor 4-4, he was screaming and he
yeah.
was angry. How did that feel for
To
you?
be honest, I was very happy that I didn't understand the word because I didn't bother at all. So
I,
he was just shout and I don't understand, so I don't listen to him. If I understand, I would put his words in my mind and just but I was so happy that I didn't understand a single word and I just focused on the ball. But because it was not in my team and even it's not in my pitch.
yeah,
He
that
was
was
next
on
to
the
me.
side pitch. Yeah,
So I was actually playing and he was shouting.
yeah.
So everyone they got distracted by him and I didn't understand. So I just played.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
That was good. It's to be honest, this language it's somewhat of an advantage because I really don't understand anything and
Mm.
I don't bother at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't find the harsh situations that I don't understand the language because I could just ask anyone. And people here are really helpful.
Yeah.
No, the reputation of Germans for foreigners are so false. Really, I if I said to anyone in the street that I'm a student or I'm a football player, he would just help me so much.
Hmm.
Really. Yeah.
That's your first, I mean, now
Yeah.
you're since a couple of months,
Yeah.
and that's your general impression that
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
like the stereotype you maybe had before of
No, no,
German
at all, no.
friend. Yes, okay, that's nice to hear. I mean,
Yeah,
I can see that either. I guess that's always a vice versa
yeah,
situation. You approach the people in a very friendly and
yeah,
very
yeah,
polite way.
yeah,
So that's what you receive back, and I mean, I guess we
yeah, that's
everybody has
right.
that experience.
That's right.
So maybe you would have had a different one
Yeah.
If you would have approached the people like the player on the pitch shouting and screaming around, you would get the Germans
Yeah.
back shouting
Yeah.
on you. No, I just meant because I know that when I'm in a different country where I don't understand the language,
Mm.
it's already sometimes kind of, yeah, challenging
Mm.
to deal with it once you are in situations like that.
Of
People are
course.
screaming and shouting around somewhere, and you don't know whether that's friendly or whether that's more like a bit of an tension in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just imagine how that might be on the pitch. Like, you're right, he was not in your team, it was just on the side pitch. There
Yeah.
were two pitches, but that could kind of be disturbing, I think, if you
Yeah.
don't know what he wants, what the issue
Of
is, and
course.
you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
understand in the football pitch. Yeah, so I guess we should continue with that journey because that was the crucial part for you, I guess, so far to find an exit out
Yeah.
of this year
Yeah.
because we had it planned to for you to be here for those 4 weeks, and also you've been applying for university,
Yeah.
and they have different campuses all
Yeah.
over Germany, which was a very smart move of yours to
Mm.
say, I apply for that university and I still can locate myself
Yeah.
in the
That's right.
in the campus where I can also find a club. So the initial plan was Berlin.
Yeah.
We understood more and more that we won't
Yeah.
get you on the pitch here.
But we already arranged that I was in last January supposed to come here and stay here for a whole month.
Yeah,
So we arranged a 2 month in Berlin and a 2 month in a
2 weeks here.
different 2 weeks in Berlin and a 2 weeks in a different city. So this plan was really great because it really worked because Berlin I couldn't train as much as we arranged,
Yeah.
and then the 2 weeks after it, we found a solution and it was great.
Yeah, sure, but maybe that's a general thing because this you are a player of the profile we see as something very promising, and in those situations, we invite you for a first tryout here before your studies or before your plan B career activities start to have a tryout to be safe on the club side. So we never really know whether that's first of all, like now we invited you to Berlin,
Mm.
and we haven't been quite sure whether you will train there and they would accept you and they would maybe also promote you to an academy. So that second 2 weeks we haven't been very sure about whether we should plan it. It's always a
Yeah.
bit difficult situation because then we would announce you in another club in another region of Germany. But in case you're successful here,
Yeah.
we maybe don't go there and we would have to explain to the other club that you finally won't come. So it's always kind of like thin ice we are walking on to make those plans for first tryouts. In your case, it was not 100% sure where you would go in the second 2 weeks, so we had to be a bit spontaneous. And the situation was like now we had minus 10 degrees in Berlin,
Mm.
and the only purpose we had is to find a spot in Germany
Yeah.
where it's warmer, and that was the situation at that
Yeah.
time. North and Eastern Germany was like Siberia, ice cold,
Mm.
and South and Southwestern Germany was already almost heading towards springtime.
Yeah.
We understood that in Frankfurt and the region of Frankfurt,
Mm.
that's already up to 10 degrees plus.
Yeah.
So that was our idea then to find a club for you to for the second 2 weeks to make tryouts in the warmer region. So we stepped into a train, moved down to South Germany, and how was that for you? Like
That's
coming from minus 10 to plus 10
First of all,
degrees.
that was very funny because we prioritize Cologne for those 2 other weeks.
Yeah, initially.
Yeah, and I even applied for the campus in Cologne for my university,
Yeah.
and we didn't go there at all, and we didn't consider it at all because of the weather, of course. So yeah, fate went, and we went to a whole city that I didn't know that it existed at all. It's called Heidelberg.
Yeah.
I didn't know it at all. So you said to me, okay, Heidelberg is the warmest city right now, and there's the amazing organization right there that um managed the most of the clubs there and most of the youth teams there. I was very relieved because yeah, I didn't know what Heidelberg is. I didn't know what this state hall is and what this organization is. And it was the perfect solution for this time. So yeah, we hopped on a train and we went. First day we trained. we
Yeah.
we actually trained in the actual pitch and actual football training.
So you didn't imagine that this is possible in Germany to
Yeah,
train football.
yeah, that's really yeah. Um, I was so relieved. I've been I think almost 3 weeks I didn't play football, and this really devastated me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I was so happy.
very obvious
Yeah,
for you. Like on the football side, you've been, yeah, devastated by
yeah,
not playing in general. I guess
yeah,
you need to play every
yeah, of
day
course.
just for your inner
Yeah, yeah,
peace. And secondly, you came with the ambition to show your skills, and both haven't wasn't possible. That was the football part, and then the general part of those conditions here. I remember you stepped out of the train in Frankfurt,
mm,
and just after 1 minute, you've you did exactly this one, and you told me, "Hey, now I can
yeah,
breathe again. I
yeah,
can breathe again." I guess
yeah,
that was related
yeah.
to the air you've been breathing and to the fact that okay, I guess there's a lot of relief in the weather
Yeah,
conditions. That now I'm here. Now I have the prospect of playing football. That's obviously true. We only have to make a 4 hour journey by train, and we are in a completely different environment.
yeah.
And yeah, you've been
I was
just
so comfortable.
exhaling.
Really, like you said, it was so different environment, but I was so comfortable. As soon as we landed in Frankfurt, I was so comfortable and relieved. I don't know why.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that we've been, and that's not the most, I would say, not the most beautiful part of
yeah,
Germany or this region because we've been
not at
walking
all.
around Frankfurt main station. People say like Frankfurt main station is a bit of
Yeah,
a
it was chaotic.
chaos,
Yeah,
but this was the environment you
yeah,
needed for like just to go away from Berlin. And I guess the way I understand that still is you've been just a bit traumatized by Berlin and the
yeah.
condition
I was,
we
yeah,
understood here.
I
So
was,
that
yeah,
was kind of the turning point, I guess, in your uh, German history so far. To land there in Frankfurt, I have seen a completely different person from that moment
yeah,
on. And yeah, we made that journey together. We had to improvise and find another club
yeah,
where those conditions allow us to play. And it's not an easy task. I mean, we understand that anyways. And you maybe also understood that all the clubs here with on a certain level, they don't crave for new
yeah,
players from overseas because it's also like a lot of registration
yeah,
bureaucracy, and
yeah,
it wasn't it's not that easy to find a spontaneously a club who would accept tryouts, which is for me sometimes a bit surprising because a tryout is always worth it. I
yeah,
mean, you never know what you're
yeah,
going to receive, so I guess it was altogether let's say good fate
yeah.
that that the club you're playing with right now, where you made your tryouts
Mm,
now, okay, the result is obvious,
yeah,
but that they accepted tryouts for you,
yeah,
and that was a club in Heidelberg,
yeah.
which is playing in your age. You're a U19 player. They're playing on the second
Second division.
uh, highest division
Yeah,
in Germany in
yeah,
youth football, so it's successful club,
very.
and the structure here is that like you've got the academies of the first, second, and third Bundesliga clubs.
Mm,
That's academies, and then they got a lot of partner clubs because the German football environment, the youth football environment is just
so wide. Yeah,
borderless,
yeah,
kind of, and that's why they need, even in those divisions, they need partner clubs. And the club you're playing with now is a partner club working in a network which is organized by TSG Hoffenheim,
yeah,
the first division club in Germany, and they're working, I guess, pretty closely together, and yeah, trying to assist you with a lot of other, not football related issues, but let's come to that later because how was it then? We arrived in Heidelberg, and how was your first real tryouts? How did that develop for you?
Yeah, I was so happy, and it seemed I was so happy because I just trained. That's all what I'm in mind because um I thought that I come to Germany because I need a club, and I if I don't get a club, I would make tryouts when I'm in university and when I'm studying. That's really hard. So that was very big dilemma for me. But all of this, I wasn't it wasn't in my mind at all. Uh, the only thing that I needed is to train. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Not to get in the club, not to get a trial, not anything. I just want to train proper and play proper football. So that happened in Heidelberg, and when I saw the club, of course, the training facility, it was amazing. The training facility was amazing, and the club is amazing, and the players are really friendly, and the coach are really friendly. Um, yeah, so a very it was one of the best moments in my life, yeah. And
your
you could
first
see,
appearance on the training
yeah,
pitch
of
there.
course, yeah,
Yeah, I recall that too. It was a very welcoming environment. You said that your team members are quite pale,
yeah.
and then what did you experience at the gym?
Yeah, so I entered the gym. They all working out crazy, and their neck were going to explode, and their faces are red, and I can't believe I didn't train at all. I'm just watching them. So I asked the coach, to be honest, why do they work out really hard? No, the football players don't, because they train biceps and triceps, and it's crazy. So yeah, that's just us, and you just do squats and do deadlifts, and just did those, and they do whatever they want. I said okay, but I just went out of the training. We finished training and went out, and I told you, Paul, they are working out like crazy in the gym, and their faces are red, and their neck are going to explode in while they're training. And you said just they're Germans, they are pale, and then when they train, their face turn out that's completely normal. Yeah. First training, it was great. Of course, I didn't. They all speak German in the field, of course, so I didn't understand anything, and that this is the thing that I'm not happy with it because they communicate with in the pitch. They don't just yell at each other. So communication is important, so
Hmm.
important in the field. So that's why I didn't enjoy as much in the first training. So I went back after we finished training, and just searched football terms in German, and I memorized some. And second training was completely different
Yeah,
because I understand most of the words,
yeah,
and yeah, I was able to perform really well, and that was great.
yeah. That's a limited vocabulary
Yeah,
in the end of the day,
yeah.
like the most important words. So, what is one you recall the first word which you understood as like most frequented and
Uh,
you should learn?
the Hintermann,
Hintermann.
Hintermann,
Ah, yeah,
Zeit is really important. Druck,
yeah.
Druck means
Okay,
press.
so let's do that in English. Hintermann, how would you
Hintermann,
translate that?
it's Manon means the
On the
man
back.
behind,
Yeah,
yeah. Zeit means you have time,
yeah.
so receive the ball. And Druck is press.
Pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah, either press
mm,
or pressure.
yeah.
Yeah. Like a
Uh,
command or an kind of a warning. Yeah. There
really?
can be both, yeah. Druck, the translation, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is the three words that were most important
Yeah.
because if I speak in Arabic, I only say this with these three words.
It's the same.
Yeah. Um,
Like goalkeepers commands top tier list.
yeah, those three, yeah.
Yeah.
Hinterman, um, yeah.
How about move forward?
Raus,
Leave raus.
raus,
Yeah.
rausrücken,
Rausrücken. Yeah, that's
rausrücken. This, but they just say raus.
raus. Yeah.
So yeah, so I just realized that most of the words I memorize, they only say they say a bit different in the field. So I just memorize the words in the field, not in online or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, was the best days in the whole month, really, the training days and the gym sessions and the friendly players, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. And we also had a trial, if you remember, in Berlin this time with Babelsberg.
Yeah.
And yeah, we decided not to go to Berlin anymore. We're gonna stay here in this club. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
I mean, that was the situation that still we were counting on a temperature increase
Yeah.
in Berlin region. So there was in your indoor session here in Berlin, there
Also,
was
yeah,
the men's team of another fourth division club
yeah,
training,
yeah,
which has a very successful U19, and they invited you.
yeah,
I guess I was approaching them, asking them whether they are training
yeah.
because some clubs they have got heated pitches.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't sure about them, but I asked them, and I told them what that is about, and that you are here, and the
Yeah.
goalkeeper that you're presently on the other pitch performing. I guess they've been watching you a bit, and then they agreed on inviting you once the temperatures would increase.
Yeah.
And that was a very formal, a very professional and
It was
nice
a great
invitation they
invitation. Yeah.
gave out to you. And I'm sure it was because also for me, it was the first time I saw you playing in the indoor
Yeah.
facility there. And it was just obvious from the first moment that you can do it.
Yeah.
And they have seen that as well. Okay, after your first appearance on the pitch here with the men's team, you almost had your first confirmation, your
Yeah.
first contract with the club in Berlin. So talking about your skills, your possibilities, there's very little doubt from the first time we've seen you. But as you
Yeah.
said, we decided, or you've been feeling very comfortable there from the whole
Yeah.
environment, the facilities, the coaches, and
Weather,
the
the beautiful
prospects,
city. Yeah.
and the city
Yeah, of
itself,
course.
that you, yeah, even the invitation back to Berlin was not valid anymore because we had the weather conditions continue for another week or two. So it was the right decision to then stay in Heidelberg. But at that very moment, we didn't haven't been quite sure what will happen next because how was that? We stayed there like for 3, 4 days.
Yeah.
You had your first 2, 3
Yeah.
sessions with Heidelberg, and like kind of uncertainty
Yeah.
was increasing in you and
Yeah.
me because we've been waiting for a response,
Yeah.
right? Like they are a serious club. They didn't want to come back to us after one session, after 2 sessions, but then after the first week ended, and we've been kind of waiting for a response from
Yeah.
the club's officials. And I can start the story like you had a training free day, right? And
Yeah, but these days, we every time I finished training, me and you would sit in the famous restaurant we always sit in, and we always have this conversation. It was very, very, very good conversations, but we would also just draw scenarios for when if the club, okay, say to me, you're gonna be with us, and this we're gonna draw the scenarios. If I go, what's the next step? What's the next step after it? So we drawed a very good scenarios, and it actually was so true. You I can't forget the moment that we were sitting in the cafe and
Yeah, I want
the
to
youth
meet us
coordinator
there
called you. Yeah,
because yeah, you're right. We've been developing plan B,
yeah,
C, D,
yeah,
X, Y, Z in
yeah,
the end
yeah,
because I've seen like you wanted to have that security kind of
yeah,
because that's your life and
yeah.
that's your most important years of your life and you wanted now
Of
to
course,
understand I'm feeling comfortable here,
of
but
course.
do they feel comfortable with me? Do
Yeah,
they want to accept, will they accept me and will they uh, make me become a member of the team?
yeah,
And that was not quite sure, well, not sure
yeah,
till the end of the week. And I guess it's Friday or Thursday that training was off. And we decided, as you just mentioned, Heidelberg is a beautiful town.
yeah,
We decided to discover the
yeah,
historic part of it and walk around. And we
yeah,
didn't have like too much other plans for that day
yeah,
than to also enjoy the town itself.
yeah.
So, do you remember, like, we've been sitting and
Yeah, we
having
were
coffee?
sitting in
We
the
just wanted
cafe.
to start our. No, we were on the way back. We headed to the ancient or the historic
Yeah,
castle.
yeah,
We went back to find my car back. I
yeah,
tell you later, but then we sat down and drank a coffee, right? And
yeah.
still, and always considering what will happen next. And what happened next?
We were in a very deep conversation between you and me, saying, okay, if they accepted me, what's the next step? Is the next step very good for me, or should I go to another club and should I go to another trial and see if it has so more potential than the club that I'm. So we were just in a very deep conversation, and all of a sudden, your phone rings and the youth coordinator, you start talking German, and every time, every 3 seconds, you just say to me, yeah, you good, and you, yeah, and you speak German, and you say, and you'd kick me in the leg,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't understand whether I'm hyped, I should be hyped or should be
No, was
disappointed.
that
I don't
obvious?
know, I don't understand at all. And you start talking German, and you spend, I think, 20 minutes on the phone. I can't
Yeah, it was a
understand.
long call.
Yeah, 20 minutes, and you just nod to me, and I don't understand. So you hang up. You said, Adam, you are accepted, and they even like you so much. They said you might be overperforming for this team, and there's so much potential, and the collaboration between Hoffenheim is so explicit and so good. I can't believe I didn't see anyone around me. I was so relieved after this whole, because it was the end of the month and it was so tough month, for starting from Berlin and then the training and then the conversation that we had. It was it was the happiest moment in my life, really.
Yeah, I remember that because we've been talking a lot, like the youth coordinator and I. He was only confirming about your personality. That was also another part of it. I guess you made it just perfectly right to
Mm.
be exactly in the middle where you get to be like ambitious but
Yeah,
also humble and
yeah,
knowing where you are, who you are in that very moment, like the new guy
yeah,
and the new kid in town, if you want to
yeah,
say. And so that was one convincing part, and then your performance. I guess there was never a doubt, but as I said before, they get to decide, okay, that's a non-European citizen. It's a lot of
yeah. Of course.
registration work, so
Yeah,
I guess that could
that's the
be
thing. Yeah,
the cherry on the top then to
yeah,
say the
yeah,
performance is.
yeah,
I mean, I guess it was both. He was talking a lot, and I just, when he mentioned that, yeah, we're kind of worried that he might even overperform. That was the moment where I
yeah,
wanted to translate that to you immediately. I
yeah. I
wasn't able to
understand that.
wait, and
Yeah.
that's why we're on football. I meant to
Uh,
kick you a bit and
yeah,
show you what that we're on a good track here in
yeah,
that phone call. And yeah, I mean, that's my memory on that day. I was investing like a very intense time with you as well.
yeah,
It was my challenge then to also get you out of the Berlin situation
yeah,
and out of that hesitation.
yeah,
And so then the relief was also with me. And I remember we've been then walking a bit through Heidelberg again, wanted to grab some food
mhm,
in the touristic zone.
yeah,
And there was only one person very or two-person very happy in Altstadt, a historic town of Heidelberg, you and
Yeah,
I, and you've
yeah,
been just like
yeah,
screaming
yeah.
again, show
And
like
I even got more happier because I called my father and my
yeah,
mother, and they started crying because it's not that I can't find any club that wants me. Just I can't find a club that I could train with it.
yeah,
So I just I will I every day I'm in Berlin. I call you and I text you. I say, Paul, just play in the streets. Just grab me a ball and just
yeah,
let us play in the street. I just want to play football and just want some coaches to see me.
yeah,
That's it. That's it. I can't do this. And then it turns around, and we found a very good club in a
yeah,
very good city that I didn't know
yeah,
about it. It was
yeah.
crazy.
It
And
was
yeah,
really
when I saw my father and my mother just get really happy, that got me even happier
yeah,
because to be honest, I didn't um I didn't have worry about me. They accepted me in the club. I just worry about is it the right step for me or not. So this was very deep conversations that lasted almost a week for me and you,
yeah,
whether we search another club or not, whether
yeah.
we go back to Berlin or not. It's
But I have to say, like, there was also still hesitation because it was your first
the
competition on
yeah,
European level, on
and
German
the
level.
foreign contract that was really got me speculating, yeah, whether if they could register me as a foreigner
Yeah,
or not.
but
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was still, and for you, I cannot imagine differently. Like, it was your first time competing here,
Mm.
and now we had a clear idea of where you are, like, at least on that, at very least on that second highest level.
Yeah.
So that was also a sportive confirmation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not just like, is that we have to find another club. No, it was just the confirmation that now your career on that level at least can start and
Yeah.
yeah, I guess there was also a bit of a relief because
Yeah.
I know that you get self-esteem, that
Yeah.
your confidence is not the lowest and for good reasons,
Mm.
but still I think in a different environment and German football than youth football might be like more competition in general than in Egypt because we have more
Yeah, of
players and
course.
maybe we have like kind of more professional capacities all over the
Yeah.
place, not just a few. So the competition is higher, and you've been, yeah, accepting the competition and like proving yourself. That was amazing, and the crucial moment, in my opinion, too, to have you like that settling
Yeah.
moment for your journey to Europe. It was amazing.
First thing I did is that I moved the campus into the Heidelberg because I applied for the Cologne one that I don't know about
Yeah,
anything about Cologne and I didn't visit it.
yeah,
So yeah, I changed the campus to Heidelberg, and we wanted to stay a little bit longer because if we had a trial in Berlin, and yeah, we decided to stay a little bit longer in Heidelberg because it was amazing.
mm,
It was the best day in my life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was a very beautiful moment. And part of the story as well is, and now that's getting a bit like, that's the turnaround in that story. Everything which happened afterwards was just terrible, right?
What
No,
happened
don't you
out
remember?
after?
I mean, maybe I can start with
Ah.
maybe I can start with one
Yeah, yeah,
category here in
yeah.
our podcast. Wait,
So
please,
we ordered
Adam.
we ordered the food, and Paul said to me, Adam, just eat the food here and don't eat it later. So I said, Paul, I'm good. I'm happy now. I want to calm down and then eat. Just want to enjoy the night. I just want. Okay. So we went. We had a car.
Wait, let me ask you something
Yeah.
first of all, okay? And then you
Yeah. Okay.
continue. Because a category in here is like, has it ever happened to you? I'm always asking my guests if they had like strange situations. So my question for you is, did it ever happen to you that you've seen or witnessed a German shepherd, a grumpy German shepherd attacking
Yeah.
somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, have
because
you already
I
seen
owned a
that?
Rottweiler. You know the Rottweiler one,
Ah,
the
wasn't it a shepherd? I recall that to be a shepherd.
it was a shepherd, because but I owned a Rottweiler, and then
Ah, you own one?
yeah,
Okay.
I owned one, and we were walking in the street, and then he all of a sudden he decided to bite.
Let's keep that. Let's tell that step by step. So
Yeah,
what happened? We grabbed the food and then
your day. Okay, so
our day.
we grabbed the food. We walked in the park. We were calling for your obvious reasons. You could just describe this, but we were walking in the park, and some drunk guys were sitting in the park and playing music, and I saw the shepherd, to be honest. I saw a German shepherd that was wrapped around his leash was wrapped around a light thing,
Yeah,
and then I saw it, and I turned away a little bit, but you didn't because you were in the
I
phone.
was on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he attacked you. He attacked you, and then we walked. We didn't say anything to the dudes because they were drunk. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was just
You
so
were pissed.
close.
You were red, and you were sweating afterwards.
Absolutely. I mean, it was the same day we had that very positive experience,
Yeah,
and we've been so happy. And then everything turned around,
yeah,
just at least for me,
yeah, yeah.
because I was
It's really did.
renting a car. We've got that car sharing
Yeah,
companies here, and for plenty reasons, like in Heidelberg, I was renting one where they usually are only located in Frankfurt,
mm,
and you're not supposed to drive those cars
yeah,
like all over the place.
yeah,
But I took that 100 miles
yeah,
to go down to Heidelberg,
yeah.
and we had that car sharing car there for a week. So that very day, I was, as they advise you not to park it in a underground parking lot.
Yeah,
We didn't really worry about it, and
yeah,
I was cruising down to a -3 underground level in
yeah,
Heidelberg because we've been so much into what will happen to you. And I parked my car there, -3 underground level. And when we wanted to go back home so happily that day, I had to discover that this car lost the connection completely. So I wasn't able to unlock that car.
yeah,
Even the provider of those cars haven't been able to locate that car anymore because it was completely
yeah,
offline. I messed it up
yeah.
like 110%. So I was only struggling with that car sharing company. Sorry, guys, I parked your car like out of the reach of any network in Heidelberg, which I'm not supposed to, -3 ground in a very narrow parking.
Yeah.
And please assist me on that one. And then I negotiated with them on the
For
phone.
3 hours, for 3 hours straight, but and my food went cold,
Yeah,
and I was very hungry, but I didn't have a problem at all. I just recalled the call you had with the youth coordinator, and
yeah.
I didn't have a problem at all. You had a problem with the company, of course, but
Yeah, and
yeah,
that was the very moment I was negotiating. Okay, now they got to send people to free that car
yeah,
with an extra key, bring it out of the parking where I would have to pay like 50 euros per day again for the parking lot and stuff. And in that very moment, we walked back home. That drunk people with the shepherd meant to give me an extra
yeah,
pain and attack me. And
yeah,
we were supposed to be like just happy, but it turned around a bit, but not too much because sooner or later we understood the importance is on the
yeah,
positive,
of course,
and
and yeah,
we
we
celebrated
celebrated,
that
yeah,
evening. Yeah. Now we are obviously in the presence here. You been accepted by the club.
yeah,
You are a member of that club right now,
yeah,
a member of the squad also for next
for
season.
next
Your
season, yeah,
19th season, you will have your first appearances in official matches, but we go to that a bit later again. Now I just want to, yeah, talk like finally about football with you, football on the pitch in Germany compared to what you experienced in Egypt
yeah,
and everything. But first of all, I want to ask you some sort of random question, which is out of my category here in the podcast,
Yeah.
which is have you ever heard of?
Okay.
So I wanna ask you, know from you, have you ever heard of Sven Scheuer?
No.
No, you
No.
never heard of him? Okay, so I will inform you about him just briefly, and he's a German goalkeeper.
Okay.
Sven Scheuer is a former German professional footballer who
Yeah.
played as a goalkeeper. Best known for his time at Bayern Munich from 1988 to 1999. He primarily served as a backup goalkeeper during a highly successful era for the club. He spent over a decade with the club's senior squad, winning multiple honors, including 5 Bundesliga titles, 2 DFB-Pokals, if you know what that is,
Yeah.
and the 96 UEFA Cup, former European League. So he was playing for Bayern Munich for 11 years.
Yeah.
And now you can make a guess how many appearances he had on the pitch in those 11 years.
So you said that he was most of this year's
Yeah.
backup goalkeeper, and you said that he performed well in one season.
No, that was not mentioned, but he was playing 11 seasons for Bayern Munich
Yeah.
and
So you said from 1998?
88 to 99. So 11 years. He was
Oh,
playing 11 years for Bayern Munich.
yeah. He made so back then the matches were less than right now.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But you had like for Bayern Munich was always at least 40 matches
Of
per season.
course.
So you can count like they played 500 matches in that whole era of his, at
Really?
least, yeah, if you want to sum it up. And how many
I think it's 368.
appearances for him?
Yeah.
Nope. A
Uh,
bit too high because that's only 20. He was playing
really?
20 times for Bayern Munich, but he was the second goalkeeper for
Oh,
11 years. So he is quite famous in Germany as the backup goalkeeper
yeah.
for Bayern Munich at that time. Everybody was just admiring his job because you earn quite well,
Yeah,
you're
of
successful,
course.
you're 5 times Bundesliga champion, but you only had to perform like 20
It's 20
times
times,
in
yeah.
11 years.
Yeah.
So at that era, he was
But
very
but
famous.
a backup goalkeeper would also focus on the match like the starting ones,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, that was it. He was just a positive
Yeah,
impact from the bench, I guess. He
of
was
course.
always like not complaining
Of
about his
course.
position. And
Of
when
course.
he was asked to play, he was there, but
Yeah.
it was really rare
Yeah.
because 20 appearances in 11 years, and like right now, a backup goalkeeper has more experience.
Yeah, of
At that
course.
time, he always had a strong competition with, for example, Oliver Kahn,
Mm.
who was never injured or something. He was always there. He was like maybe one of the most stable, physically stable players ever. So that was his competition. And it was just the idea. So start your journey as a goalkeeper in Germany. So
Mhm.
goalkeeper is a very unique position,
Yeah.
maybe the most important one.
The most, yeah, not maybe, it's 100% the most important one. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a little argue on that because now we are talking on football. And football, that's a nice part, allows so many different perspectives
Of course.
for everything you
Of
do.
course.
And I recall our conversation
Yeah.
on whether the goalkeeper is the most important. You've got your good reasons to say
Yeah.
so. I had mine to
Yeah.
argue differently, but I guess there is so many ways to agree,
Yeah.
not to agree, or to agree to agree. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but I'm very curious now after you have been here for 3 months almost. Yeah, two
Yeah.
months now about your experiences. Maybe we can start with the question like, have you experienced something where you say, I'm bringing my skills from Egypt over here, and that's something which you don't find that much in your environment here. Like you would say, I've got a very unique skill or unique point of view from my education, my football education in Egypt.
Not really, because in Egypt I spent all of my years playing football because to develop. So when I come into a bigger country, because Germany wasn't in my mind at all, but I wanted to play in a European country in 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 this time. So yeah, I've spent almost 5 years, no days of developing on myself to be just when I move to a bigger country, just to perform well. So it's not that I'm different. Some skills, yeah, of course, football is different in Egypt than in Germany, of course. But there's some aspects of the game in Egypt is better than here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some aspects is here is better, of course. Yeah, that's it. So it's not that different, other than it's some aspects are higher
Mm.
here and some aspects are much higher in Egypt.
So maybe you can give us one example of like when you as a
Yeah,
goalkeeper see the squad playing where you feel like, okay, this is what they could adapt,
yeah,
like from my team in Egypt,
yeah,
which was, I guess, in Egypt you've been playing on the highest level,
yeah.
even already with the men's
Yeah, that's
squad.
exactly right. Because
So,
that's right. Because in Egypt, yeah, I played with the highest level in Egypt. So for example, the build up from the back, I've developed so much in Egypt in the build up from the back. Here it's not that important, to be honest. Yeah. Um, there's a lot of tactical stuff that I haven't seen yet here that I've seen, and I've taught in Egypt, because the men's team, they really focus on it. But the skills of the players in Egypt, they are good, but here are so much better. Um, the physical the physical aspect here is so much greater and better than Egypt,
yeah,
of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no.
even in the U19s.
Even in the U19s, in the men's team,
All right.
so much greater and better in Egypt. So this physical stuff is really important. Um, that's it. But in football wise, if you are very good in Egypt and you have a good mentally, you are mentally strong, you could just perform here easily, easily.
Yeah.
But the physical stuff is very, very, very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you say that's in the U19 already that you experience a difference there, I can always see that with players crossing the U19's limit and playing first season in men's football.
Yeah.
So then the biggest difference there is like the physicality in
Yeah,
men's football.
and also when I see the U19 play a football match, it's almost quite the same as the men's team, the best league in the same atmosphere and the same balls and the same pitches and the same. So when a youth player comes in the men's team, he doesn't see that much difference, so he's able to perform somehow, yeah, like he's performing in the youth sector. So this is so much different, because in Egypt, the men's team and men's football, men's pitches, men's atmosphere is so much different than the
Mm,
youth teams. So this is the really important thing.
yeah. Okay, maybe the difference is even like bigger,
Yeah,
but also here, like in German, we get one word. I try to translate that with the bones hunter,
yeah,
and then you find like United players playing in the men's divisions, and all of a sudden you are confronted with those experienced 32 years old defenders. You could call them bones hunter or
yeah,
maybe something
yeah,
bones breaker,
yeah,
uh, who play like still on a different, like on a more stable or more experience level on that physicality. So it's sometimes a very difficult transition for the youth players here as well to
yeah.
men's football. And yeah, especially as you can even grow up to Bundesliga, where that's still another speed on the pitch
Of
again.
course, yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you more about your ambitions, your plans, and I want to tell you how I see you, how I experience you as a
Yeah.
young guy. But still coming back to German language, I just want to test you briefly
Okay.
with one German question like,
Okay.
hast du ein kleines bisschen Hunger, Adam?
Kleiner bisschen Hunger.
Yeah?
Jetzt?
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's the snack
Dankeschön,
throw-in.
Dankeschön.
We always release, receive a little
Wow,
snack in the
okay,
podcast, so
okay, this is
you can
great. Okay,
enjoy that if you
yeah,
like right now.
okay,
And maybe I just introduce the football aspect once again, which I experienced with you.
yeah,
For us as scoring, it's very important, as I mentioned, and that will be another question for you, to have the plan B, to not be
yeah,
part of the story, which is the disappointing one that
yeah,
people move abroad only for football purposes, and
yeah,
then it can happen everything, and you will not become a professional, and then the disillusion is just devastating, and
yeah,
people don't even move back to their home countries. So when we work with players from Africa, especially, we say you got to have a plan B, which might become your plan A if uh, plan A doesn't work,
yeah.
football doesn't work. So that's what we experienced with you, just in the perfect manner. You've been so organized, so dedicated to say, I want to have a plan B with my university.
Yep.
And I guess we've been able to assist you there, like at least on the level you needed it, because you're a very
Yeah.
self-organized, very
Thank
well-structured
you.
person.
Thank you.
And then I guess that's also basic for a successful football career, to have that in mind, that you cannot just count on that 100% that it does work, and you are that dedicated to say, I believe that your dedication will be part of your success story,
Thank you.
and still you got a plan B. So
Yeah.
now I guess you can focus on football with the amount of time you got to invest here right now
Yeah.
in the U19 sector, and still do your studies
Yeah,
properly.
that's exactly right.
And so what I see is that you've got good skills, and that your dream of becoming a professional is not just a dream. It is like from your education that
Yeah.
you've been playing U17.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about your goalkeeper's history, how that came that you've been like so early in the national teams. I guess you can tell us at what age you started in which squad, where you see your like your specific or your extraordinary talents, and where you see that you would have to work on here to make the next level and the next step. And I guess the next step is men's football
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
and on the highest
Okay.
potential
So
level.
I've always been obsessed with the idea that I'm the special player in the team. I'm the most important player in the team. Like I obviously use that as a goalkeeper, so I want to implement it as a I'm a goalkeeper and I want to show everyone that the goalkeeper has so much impact on the team. And like Lionel Messi, for example, he has so much impact in the team on the field.
Yeah,
So I want to show that this impact a goalkeeper could show it too. Offensively, defensively, anything, any aspect of the game, a goalkeeper could show how impactful he is
yeah,
and how he should be the special player in the team, and a team should only win because not only win, but a team should mainly the main reason they won because of the goalkeeper. Because if if opponent doesn't score, you will not lose,
yeah, sure. I mean, if
and
you don't make
you
a mistake, at least that's where we can start.
and you also could just be advantage and make advantage offensively also. And if you even a goalkeeper doesn't doesn't um doesn't act in the play and doesn't play as much as the on-field player, of course, and doesn't save that balls in the game, in communication, and just could transfer this energy, this calmness into the team. That's crazy. That's I really want to show this.
Yeah, I remember that you told me. I guess you're also theoretically working a lot in foot and goalkeeper's strategic or tactical
Yeah.
uh, vision that you say like you can avoid any critical situation for a goalkeeper if you do everything right. So I guess that's
Yeah.
everything just perfect. That's what you want to work on, and that's where I see a dedication. And yeah, that's somewhere we can really argue on like what if you imagine the perfect goalkeeper doesn't make mistakes and is like also offensively on another level, how much we how far the impact could go
Yeah.
to say that's the most crucial and most important player on the pitch. But give give us a journey back in your childhood and your history. Where did you discover that you're that good? When did that happen that you went to Wadi Degla, which is
Yeah.
a first division club with an academy in Egypt,
So
and
I,
plus you became a national team's
yeah.
player. How was the
So I
development?
started, like I said, in Arsenal franchise. The academy in Egypt was in Wadi Degla club.
Straight away as a goalkeeper, or have
Yeah,
you?
straight away as a
Okay,
goalkeeper. I was 8,
yeah.
and this academy was so good and so expensive. So my father said to me, I spent 3 years asking my father to enter this academy. So my father 1 year said to me, okay, if you get good grades in this final exam, you will enter the academy.
The Arsenal one.
So I get good grades, and he said, okay, you will enter, but I really want to test you before you enter if you are good or not, because if you are good, we will waste money and time. So he's not that good at playing football, but he's good. He's not that good, but he grabbed the ball, and we went to a pitch and a goal, and he started shooting at me, and I started saving a lot of balls, and he said, "Yeah, you are a goalkeeper. Just let us enter." First training, the goalkeeper coach said to me, "Adam, are you sure you want to be a goalkeeper? This is the hardest position in the field,
Hmm.
and the most uh, critical position in the field." I said, "Yeah, yeah, there's nothing else I could do." So yeah, after a while, I'm the first player that went to the youth teams from the academy, because of the academy we would pay to play. So from the academy, I'm the first player to go to the youth team, and then this idea that came to me that I want always to be the special. I want to be always the first player to enter the higher level. I want always to be the best player in the field. So that's it. From then, every time in the youth team, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. Because always, Wadi Degla, the youth team is not that the ranking is not that high, and the teams are not that good.
Hmm.
They only play just to develop, not to win. So that's really good for me, because I experience a lot of shots in the game. So I always come out of every match the man of the game,
Yeah, sure.
even if we lost 2-0.
All
But
right.
I saved 20 shots.
It's important for a goalkeeper
So
to
that
catch it.
was very good in Wadi Degla. Even in the highest team, in the youth team, they only play to develop, not to win. So yeah, from then I always made a higher always went to the higher team, the older teams in the youth teams.
So that
And
means you, for example, have been 14 and you've been playing with
yeah,
17
with the
years old.
17,
Okay.
and then the 18, and then the 19, and then the
Yeah.
21s. And then from the 21s, the coaching staff from the 21s went to the first team. So so I performed very well in the 21s when I was only 16 or 17,
Hmm.
and I was playing. So I went to the first team. That's it. And from the first team, became
The first men's team.
the youngest goalkeeper to be registered in the history of the Egyptian Premier League. That's
Oh,
it.
that's an
Yeah.
impressive Yeah, success so far, and
Yeah.
that's maybe also why you've been
So
with
that
the.
idea is always on my mind. I can't just be like anyone. So I always, when I make a mistake, I just think everyone makes this mistake, and everyone makes this, and every goalkeeper makes this mistake. And my father told me, Adam, you're not like everyone, and you don't want to be like everyone. And even the best, you can't compare yourself with the best. You want to be the better. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and that's, yeah, on the one hand, I see your father as a good support for you. That
Yeah.
was always important for us to
Yeah.
see that that's not only family's pressure, but family support. And
Yeah.
I met your father, and you've got a good background there, which is so
I
important
mean,
to.
my father is, yeah, his pressure is enormous, but he puts pressure on me enormously, but I can bear it. Yeah, every time I bear it.
Yeah, but you would you
Because
describe that as pressure or as support more? I mean, is that you ever felt like your father's uh, putting pressure on
no,
you? No.
because if he is harsh on me sometimes, he's not harsh on me because I he believes in my abilities because he doesn't ask me for something that I can't do. No, I can do. I can. So if I made a mistake and he just shout at me, "Why you made this mistake?" He's right because I don't need to make this mistake. I can not make this mistake. So that's always on my mind. Okay, he's a little bit harsh. He's yelling at me and this and that, but he's right. I shouldn't do this mistake, and I shouldn't be this performers. I want to be the best. I want to be the best, not him. I want to be the
Mm.
best, and he sees that in me. So he just guides me towards it. So every time my mind wanders around, I and think of the little goalkeepers that, yeah, they made mistakes, they make mistakes, and why shouldn't I make mistakes as well? And even if I make mistakes, I'm better than them. No, they're not in the competition. We want to be better and better. That's it. So he's not that harsh as long as, no, okay, he puts pressure on me, and after the match, he yells at me if I made a mistake, and yeah, he gets upset on me really bad. But then, around one day later, I began, no, I don't want this. He's right. So that's it.
Okay, so you made an agreement on how to digest mistakes, and there are so many different ways. I see that as kind of interesting what you tell me, because I would never accept my father to shout on me as long as he's not better than I in goalkeeping.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean, I guess it's all about digestion and
yeah,
agreement, because especially as a goalkeeper,
yeah.
mistakes as having so
And
much
also,
impact.
as I get older, I went to the mental coach, like I said to before. I went to a mental coach just to focus on my craft, and because when I get older, of course, my knowledge in goalkeeper is better than my father's. So yeah, so I wanted to manage myself like my father would manage me, but I'm now more knowledgeable than my father. I know I have more knowledge in goalkeeping than my father. So I want to manage myself other than him manage me. Him manage me, that's when I was young. But now he can't manage me because he doesn't know he's now doesn't know don't know what should I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now I know when to calm myself and when to know, say, Adam, you're so bad, you need to raise the tempo, and when to calm myself and, yeah, no, I'm not bad, I'm just, this is the situation, I will deal with it. And so this mental coaching is very good
Yeah,
as you get older. Yeah.
I can imagine, especially for goalkeepers, that advice from professionals side to, yeah, deal with mistakes, to deal with the pressure on the pitch. I know so many young kids who made one mistake in their career as a
Yeah.
goalkeeper, and they never wanted to go back in the goal again, because it can be painful for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And I maybe talk from my own experience as
Yeah.
a 70 years
Yeah.
old,
Okay.
7 years old,
Yeah.
and I've seen so many kids, and we all know what that means to make a mistake as a goalkeeper, and then to have a professional by your side who would assist you with the psychological part
Yeah.
of it is just like a very, very smart thing you do.
Yeah.
And that was also convincing me of your full package of career
Yeah.
dedication. It's just impressive
But
that you do
now
so.
this is but now it's a little bit different because now I can't just make mistakes and reflect on it. I don't want to make mistakes anymore. So now I just see what make me made these mistakes and just prevent it. Not not um not make a solution for it. I don't want it to happen at first. So right now I'm working and it will take a while and it took a while to let my body perform and not my mind. So when I reflect on the greatest saves I make, I remember that I don't tell for example my hand to be in this position because the ball is very fast, so you can't think split second, and if you think of the split second, the ball is already in the net. So when I remember the greatest save and the greatest reaction I have in my whole life, I don't think on it. So right now I'm working that as soon as I enter the pitch, I let my body work by itself because it will perform the best thing in I have. Because every day I practice to catch the ball, to receive the ball with my feet, to
Yeah,
distribute it, so that I don't think in the match because I spent so much time crafting in the training and and working very hard on the basics, the reactions, the whole aspects of the game, just to enter the game and not think about it and let my body perform because I spent so much time practicing,
yeah,
letting my
sure. I
body
mean,
perform.
you are going to make that more and more intuitional,
Yeah,
to say that's nothing to like my body is my
yeah,
brain in
yeah,
the end of the
yeah,
day. Yeah, so Adam, that was very interesting to get an insight of your like multi-level, I would say, exercising you do on the pitch, mentally, uh, that you had a mental coach as a goalkeeper. I guess that shows your seriousness to say, I've got an extra challenge here as a goalkeeper. I've got an extra challenge to now move abroad, uh, work in a different system, and plus you are always confronted with the German story that says all of you want to make it to become a
yeah,
professional. I
yeah,
guess that's what you heard a lot, that the
yeah,
competition is here and just stay like grounded and everything. It's also there's a truth part of it that we all know how many kids and how many academy players are there who don't make it then
mm,
in the end of the day through different reasons. To understand that where you're right now, but why I wanted to invite you for that podcast today is that I see that you're dealing with every competition you're faced with in a very mature, very smart way.
thank
You
you.
find solid ways to accept challenges and deal with them. I mean, our story here was Berlin, and then the
Yeah,
next step, you've been proving to be very flexible
thank you.
by
Yeah,
adapting on new
yeah,
situations and everything. And this is what our agency is all about.
yeah,
You will be in a different environment. You got to be flexible. On the one hand, don't have to adapt on everything German football wants to make you become,
mm,
like more or less a system player of German football, but on the other hand, adapting kind
yeah,
of, but keeping your self-esteem and your background and your father's there, your family's there. I see you now, you're an Egyptian in Germany, so bring that
yeah,
into German football, allow it to be here, and still also have a long-term future plan. Now your studies started, and
yeah,
you would I mean, I'm just crossing, not just crossing my finger. We always want to be there with you and for you to achieve the next
Yeah.
big step. And I'm pretty sure that there will be a good need to invite you here once again
Okay.
when we will have to tell another success
Successful
story
story. Yeah.
in your case. So to end that for today, I want to ask you, like yesterday, we've been attending a great match.
Yeah.
We went to the cup finals here.
Yeah.
So if you would have a German club you want to win it next season, which German club would that be? Do you have a favorite German club already?
Oh, I want to see Dortmund fans. You always say that Dortmund fans are crazy.
Yeah.
Because I saw Stuttgart. But Bayern Munich, of course, that's my favorite German club.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it
of
is.
course, of
Okay,
course.
so you had good reasons to
Yeah,
celebrate
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
And then, like, if you can choose a club which would dominate Champions League the next decade, which one would that be? And
Barcelona, Barcelona.
you're a
Uh,
Barcelona supporter.
yeah,
I heard about that
100%.
from you. Okay, so that answer was obvious.
Yeah,
And let's say if you can dream to play in a club in
Barcelona.
future, it would be
That's what
Barcelona.
I'm all. That's what why I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing it really because I really need Barcelona to be in the best place possible, and I really
You
want
only
to
want to
dev
serve for
Yeah, that's right.
Barcelona.
That's right. Because I really always I don't I just want to be the best goalkeeper in the history and play for Barcelona just for them to get the most out of me. That's it.
Okay, so you're really starting with the thought the club is bigger than the team and the player, and you,
The
uh,
club is bigger than football. Barcelona is bigger than it's the I can't
how they say in Catalan or Spain,
masculine club.
Masculine club.
Yeah.
Okay, this year, in my opinion, was is Mascaron a good start for
Okay.
you in Germany
Yeah.
and um, good example of how we work. And I'm very glad that we can travel that journey together. And as Football Diaspora is a world trip
Yeah.
around different countries who came to Germany to play football. I want to thank you for
Thank you.
today,
Thank you so much.
and that here was wishing you a very good journey in the
Thank you.
meaning of our podcast. And
Thank you so much, Paul.
thanks,
Thank
Adam.
you. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye, ciao. Henry, komm jetzt mal aus der Sauna, bitte. Der Gast ist da, wir wollen anfangen. Komm mal raus. Nein, nein, komm aus der Sauna, aber doch nicht nackt. Das ist doch wirklich gut.